Good morning. Hey there. My name is Paula Sours, and I'm with the Latin American Chamber of Commerce, and I am the board chair. And with us today, we have Juan Hernandez, who is our president for the Latin American Chamber of Commerce. Good morning, Juan. How are you doing?
Good morning, Paula. It's great to see you. And thank you for having me on. This is great.
With businesses beginning to get back into somewhat normal, as if you can call it normal, what are your thoughts and recommendations to business owners whom the LACC represents on reopening your doors to customers? What are your thoughts?
Good question. Actually, there's no doubt that the economy needs to start back up. I mean, we've been down for several months now, and you know, it's been very, very hurtful. And it's, you know, though it's happening across the globe, it's hitting home very hard as well. Our small businesses are struggling, as we all know, but they have found ways to pivot their service into doing the curbside service, and the online service has picked up enormously. When they do, and I understand that some of the businesses have begun opening their doors at a limitation. I would strongly advise our Latino clients that have the businesses to take preventative measures on reopening their doors. More importantly, for their clients, for their customers. Of course, with them being slow for several months, all they need to do is to reopen the doors, and then they themselves get sick just to close the doors. So if anything, if it means wiping down where the customers are sitting in the restaurants or at the dress stores, where, you know, it's just, you know, basically, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I don't know if the virus stays on your clothes, and if so, how long. But my point is if people are wearing a mask, that's great. We know it's not 100% proof, but it's helpful. Those that are not, you know, maybe the stores, if they have them, they can offer them the disposable mask. Again, not to lose their customers and maybe not push them, but it's my understanding that business owners are allowed to demand that. If, you know, if you want to enter their establishment, you are required to wear a mask. In some cases, you're not. But that would be my recommendation as they open up, and to think about their customers and themselves as well. But very good question.
And I heard you say preventative a couple times. So I know that you are a serious advocate for preventative measures regarding the COVID. Other than hearing and seeing what the experts like the CDC have set in place, why is taking preventative measures extra important to you?
Thank you for asking that, Paula. That's you're right. I have been a strong advocate for that, and of course, you know, we live in a country of there's people's choice and their rights to do what they want, and I strongly support that. I'm a strong advocate of that as well. But why it's so important to me is I've been diagnosed with a lung disease called sarcoidosis back in 2018, and actually I take that back. Wow, time is flying by. Back in 2011, that's how long it's been. 2011, and it's and those that are not familiar with the disease, sarcoidosis attacks the vital organs. It starts in your lungs, and it affects patients in different ways. For me, it's gotten to my liver, it's gotten to my heart, and I've been to the clinic to resolve that. The disease doesn't go away. However, it does die down, and what it does, it dries up your some of your tissues, so to speak, in your vital organs. So is it a deadly disease? It plays a role in your illness. Studies have shown that it will not kill you. However, it will play a role in your moving forward, and with your immune system being weak and so forth. There's been several other victims of this disease that has passed on in the past with the illness, and when they ended up with pneumonia in a hospital, and sarcoidosis just kind of inflamed in your lungs and made it very difficult for you to breathe. If people do their research, they'll see that Bernie Mac, one of the actors of the years past, and one of my favorite actors.
Mine too.
Yeah, he passed several years back, but reading the reports and all that, he also had sarcoidosis, and it played a role in that. Another great football player for the Green Bay Packers, Reggie White, he also had sarcoidosis, and it played a role in his illness and so forth. So from what I read, again, it's a vital disease, very scary. So from the clinic, at the Cleveland Clinic, and my doctors here have strongly basically said that I had to change my way of living, making better selections on my choices of what's I'm inhaling. Unfortunately, we need oxygen to breathe. I used to love campfires. I really did. I mean, I was a diehard fan of campfires. I can no longer be, or I can be around from a distance. I can smell it from a distance, but to be part of that, throwing the wood in there and kind of taking in the smoke and all that, I can't do that anymore. My lungs are pretty bad shape. I have to watch myself. So when I try to exercise or bike ride, it's shortness of breath, and I live with an inhaler. So when I go out, and I haven't been out that much since the COVID and being off, not quite necessarily off of work, but away from the building since March, I have to wear a mask. And, so I haven't been to the stores for some time. My wife goes shopping for us, and when I'm out and about with her, I have my mask on my side, so in case anybody comes up by the window or I'm out pumping gas, I put it on. It's a scary time right now, and until they being scientists, able to develop a vaccine, even then I'm still going to be pretty leery about it, because until it's proven that it's taking its measures to prevent from us catching the COVID, I may begin to start feeling more comfortable then. It's hard telling. To me right now, it's going to be the new norm. That's just my way of going to be doing business. Once we get back to doing our regular board meetings face to face, I will be wearing a mask, even though everything may have been lifted already. But that's me. That's how I will be.
Right.
And I'm not shy to wearing a mask. I'm actually waiting on an order to come in of my favorite team, Cincinnati Reds logo and Pittsburgh Steelers logo, and make the best of it. But that's why it's so important to me, because I'm not the healthiest person. In my younger years, I used to play baseball a lot for a total of 21 years with my brothers and many other Latinos in the neighborhood and all that. But that those times are gone. My health has changed, and that's why it's so important for me to wear a mask.
Right.
Next.
And I appreciate you saying that, because it takes a lot, because a lot of people don't understand when we're not facing what people face who have these disabilities. It's hard to be in their shoes and say, why am I not wearing a mask? But I get it, and I understand, and I respect that.
And the thing is, Paula, with this disease, the sarcoidosis, nobody knows. I mean, that you have it. You live a normal life. You really do. But only you that suffers with it knows how it's harming you, what you can and cannot do. Funny, and I kind of chuckle when my wife says, "Did you run up the stairs or did you walk?" I mean, take your time. And now I'm to the point where I better watch how I answer this, because the next response will be that you take your inhaler. So, and that's how bad it has been. To answer that question, I would take my time coming upstairs, but I realize how shortness of breath I am. and of course the humidity does not help.
Oh,
You know, and stuff. I thank God I don't have what they call allergies. Oh, I hope I didn't start something there, but it's, you know, it's the things that we have already out here that can kind of impact people in my condition, people that have COPD and stuff like that. You know, I'm glad that I don't have that extra. It's bad enough dealing with this here, but it hasn't been an easy topic for me to discuss, Paula. I mean, you and I have been friends for some time, and as you know, I took some time off from the organization several years back, and you and Luis Zapata stepped up and ran the organization, and so you guys are aware of this, and I am so grateful that you've given me the opportunity to speak openly about it, because it's important that it goes out.
yeah, it is. And we respect you, and we are so glad that we were able to help when we could, because we knew the time that you had with it. We were very concerned. So with that said, what would you like our viewers to take away from this brief interview?
Wow, these are some great questions, lady. Good questions. Takeaways. I think, you know, as I stated earlier, that we all have rights, and we should exercise our rights. You know, not to get off track or anything, but for example, the protest that's going on. Yeah. You know, it's something good's going to come out of this. It's unfortunate that it took a life to really impact the world, and in something good is going to come out of this, and it's far from being over. It's far from being over.
Oh yeah.
But, I'm glad it's happening. So with that being said, if I can have anybody take away from this conversation as far as preventative measures and the COVID, until we're able to come up with a 100% positive vaccine, as we have the flu shots, but even then they're not 100% guaranteed, but they are. It has kind of died down the virus and so forth, but to the point where it's not deadly unless you don't take care of it. Until we're able to come up with a vaccine that people can feel more comfortable, I would hope that people take away from this conversation is that when you get sick and you need to go see the doctor for whatever reason, you're going to see the doctor to get some advice and to get care. If the doctor prescribes you medication, it's my hope that you're going to follow through with the prescription and take your medication to resolve your illness that got you to the doctor in the first place. Mm-hmm. So if anything, think about the mask and take it as a prescription prescribed by your doctor, something to put on and to prevent yourself from, one, catching the virus, or two, become exposed to the virus. If your loved ones are your parents, grandparents, your aunts and uncles, the elderly people that you love dearly, that play a big role in your life, if they're still alive and you love them that much, if anything, do it for them. Because even though you may have a very strong immune system, but you can still be a carrier, from my understanding, mm-hmm. and to be exposing your loved ones. You know, many of us have lost many loved ones, and we wish we could turn back time, but time doesn't turn back. But we can prepare ourselves for the time that we have right now with our families. So again, if anything, treat that mask wearing process for the time being as a prescription prescribed by your physician. And I think, if anything, that's what I would hope they would take away from this.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much. You've done an amazing job, and we appreciate all your input, and you're living it. So, and to me, that's, you know, we have to be aware. You know, being aware is what we need to do. So thank you again, and we'll see you later then.
Thank you so much again, Paula, for having me, and keep up the great work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.